My name is Bilal El Alamy. I'm the founder of a couple of companies in the Web3 space. The first one was called Equisafe. It was a fintech company, which I'm currently selling. The second one is Pirates Lab, which is a startup studio dedicated to Web3 here in Paris, where we have 1,000 meters square of office dedicated to animating and federating the ecosystem. And lately, I've co-founded Dogami, which is this play and own game based on 3D avatars, which plays a little bit like Tamagotchi, so you have to raise your puppy to adult, like Tamagotchi or Nintendogs. My first experience with Web3 is with my first company, Equisafe, where we were trying to build a software to tokenize real-world assets, and we chose actually Ethereum on this first blockchain, and very quickly we were limited by the gas cost and the scalability of the blockchain. And so we started wondering which blockchain we could use, which would solve those pain points. And after looking here and there, felt on Tezos, which was proof of stake, so solving those issues on gas cost and scalability of the transaction. But then also you have other value proposition, such as the upgradability of the blockchain, which allows you to scale with your user base. And another important fact, which is very interesting, is that the Tezos Foundation is audited. And huge corporates, when you tend to want to work with them, they want to work with a blockchain that is audited. And finally, the very good point is that with proof of stake protocols, you actually know who is validating your transaction. And it's also very important for people because on proof of work protocols, you don't know who's validating your transaction, and you can have Iranian people or North Korean people validating your transaction. Tezos is a good fit in terms of technology, in terms of fit with corporates, and obviously it has this ecological standpoint, which is very attractive for the new generations for whom it's very important. We're here today at TezDev, this annual Tezos developer conference. It's very exciting because you have all the Tezos community from all over the world who are joining, and I've been meeting with people that I've been talking to for the past 2 years but haven't met them in person, and so it's quite exciting. I think the main discussions we are having here today is mostly around how each one of us can help foster the development and the adoption of Tezos and Web3, and we're all trying to argument on what could be the right thing. My belief is more centered around pedagogy, so it's important to teach developers how they can build on Tezos so that then they can become autonomous, and also how we can bring more liquidity to the DeFi ecosystem, because we've seen with other blockchains that it was kind of a catalyst for adoption, the fact that you're having a lot of liquidity. And this comes with two things, stablecoins and lending protocol. And we've been discussing with the other members who's building a lending protocol, how we can collaborate to bring the liquidity, to kind of concentrate the liquidity in one app so that it becomes attractive to traders and cryptocurrency holders. The biggest friction of Tezos was the programming language. This is why we're doing this TezDev, to try to connect developers so that they can exchange best practices. Before it was very hard to build a team to build on Tezos. Now it's easier and easier. How can we make more adoptions for builders, not only users? Where do I hope this technology grows? I hope it becomes more mainstream. I mean, there's this tendency, so it's just a question of time. I would like to have less and less bias around blockchain, because nobody asks you whether your app is on AWS or Google Cloud, so it should become less and less important. And actually, I don't understand how people can be so communitarist in Web3, you know? People that are like Ethereum maximalist. I mean, being a maximalist in Web3 is a nonsense for me, because Web3 values, they're about collaboration, connecting people, empowerment, redefining ownership and how you can hold on your own data. So yeah, I would like to see less maximalist and more people building interoperable apps, collaborating from one blockchain or the others, because there is value everywhere. I think for me, one word that would describe blockchain is communities. You know, when I was in a biscuit school, there was this marketing approach that they were teaching us about building a customer-centric approach or a mass market approach. And I think what is great with blockchain is that you're very much customer-centric, but you're very much community-centric as well. And those communities, they're not just geo-localized, they are people who want to bond because they believe in the same thing. So it's important to know why you're doing something. It needs to be linked to your core values and what you want to bring to the ecosystem. And yeah, community is what Web3 is for me.